There is a little election intrigue going on right now in Hillsborough County. An emergency court hearing and a power outage that are both having an impact on this recount. News Channel 8's Jeff Patterson joining us live from the election supervisor office in Hillsborough. And boy, there's a little bit of something for everyone here today in Hillsborough County.
Yeah, good evening, Keith. The emergency hearing actually had to do with this window. As simple as it sounds, attorneys for Rick Scott campaign went to a Hillsborough County courtroom this morning to ask for the right to be on that side of the glass instead of in the room where I'm standing. In a Hillsborough County courtroom this morning, attorneys for the Rick Scott campaign argued they want to have representatives in this room where the actual recount is going on. The request came over the objection of election supervisor Craig Latimer.
I've read the rule numerous times. The rule needs some work on it, but it clearly delineates the difference between a manual recount and a machine recount.
Latimer says the room is just too small for a representative of each campaign and each party to stand in the room. And what they would hear wouldn't be that exciting anyway.
Well, what they're going to hear is, okay, I'm ready for another box. Okay, here, this is over here. Okay, thanks. Hey, can you get me a paper clip?
Judge Cheryl Thomas disagreed with Latimer and ruled in favor of the Scott campaign. But attorneys for the Scott campaign declined to tell us why they made the request.
Kerry Weiland from the Scott for Senate campaign, press secretary, that's who you got contact.
The hearing ended at 11:20 this morning. Just before 2 p.m., elections representatives were allowed in the recount room, but their actions will be limited.
They're not going to be able to ask questions. They're not going to be able to stop the process. They're not going to be able to interfere with the process. If they do, they're going to be removed.
Yeah, the other thing that happened, as Keith mentioned, at about 1:20 this afternoon, the power went out very briefly here at the election supervisor's office, causing one of the 5 machines in that room that's doing the recount to go off briefly. In an abundance of caution, election supervisor Craig Latimer tells us that they will recount all of the votes that were processed by that machine today, meaning they'll have to rescan about 9,000 to 10,000 ballots. That will add about 4 hours to the process. Latimer believes they will still meet their recount deadline. Reporting live in Hillsborough County, Jeff Patterson, News Channel 8.
And from Hillsborough to